every day, one by one, I'm gonna try every recipe of Laura, starting from the very beginning. Come, join me on my challenge. Let's go! Hi everyone! My name is Ruta and welcome to the 56th day of my challenge where I can finally try the pizza recipe because ta-da! I could finally get my yeast, which is super cool. I'm so excited about that because I'm gonna try and make it the way Laura did, like, you know, rolling it with hands and whatnot. So that's gonna be so fun. The original recipe though is for 2 pizzas, white and red, and I'm gonna try only the red one because I couldn't really find the ingredients for the white one, but it's gonna be super special nonetheless, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make half of it margarita and half of it I'm gonna top with my leftovers sausage and peppers. Yeah, from sausage and peppers. I've tried before a recipe for the Italian sandwiches with sausage and pepper, so that's exactly that. I cooked in the exact same way. So if you're interested, I'm gonna leave a link in the description box for that. And another thing which I just cannot wait to share with you is, you won't believe it because I still cannot. Look what I could find. It's whole peeled tomatoes in tomato juice. Like, this makes me believe in miracles, seriously. And I went so crazy, I bought like 20 cans of it. So my kitchen is now filled with cans of tomatoes. And okay, if you're new and you're like, what are you talking about? It's because I was always making, whenever I needed whole tomatoes in a can or diced or crushed or whatnot, I was always making them from fresh ones, which actually takes a little bit of time and a lot of fresh tomatoes. And if you're interested, by the way, I'm gonna leave those links in the description box as well, because who knows, my luck might end soon and I will have to make them again like that. So now, when I have a ready tomato can, it's like so much time saved. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna blend it with my blender because I do need puree, but that's like nothing compared to making it from scratch. So that's, I think, that I'm so excited about my discoveries. Seriously, like, this is my lucky time. So now let's go over the ingredients and let's make some pizza. We're gonna need, for the dough, 500 grams of flour, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 320 milliliters of warm water, and 1 envelope of yeast. Now for the pizza, we're gonna need 300 grams of tomato sauce or tomato puree, 1/4 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of dried basil, 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic, 1 teaspoon of granulated onion, a pinch of sugar, salt and pepper, 200 grams of fresh mozzarella, sliced thinly, a few fresh basil leaves, and some leftovers from sausage and peppers. Let's start by making the dough because we will need to let it rise a little bit. So the first step is taking the yeast, adding it to the dry water, warm water, and mixing it in a little bit and then leaving it be to do its magic for around 3 minutes. I can definitely smell the yeast, which is exactly what you want. It means it activated. And now I have all of the dough ingredients here. The flour, extra virgin olive oil, salt, sugar, and this yeast mixture. I'm gonna add everything to my food processor with, well, I guess I could call this a dough attachment because it doesn't really cut anything. Laura makes her dough on a standing mixer with a dough attachment, and as I don't really have a standing mixer, that's why I'm planning to employ my food processor as much as possible and then just knead the rest until the dough is really nice and smooth. Okay, so this thing is jumping all over the place, so I think I'm gonna go and knead it now, but it looks really wet. I think I'm gonna need to add more flour here. It's like sealed. Okay, I need something. Oh man, that's gonna be a mess. I think next time I'm just gonna knead from the very beginning. That's really messy. Now it looks exactly like Laura's. So now I'm gonna divide it into two bowls because this one envelope of yeast does make 2 pizza doughs, but I'm just gonna use one and I'm gonna freeze the other one. Okay, so now what I have here is these 2 equal bowls, which I'm gonna grease lightly with some extra virgin olive oil so that the dough wouldn't stick. Then I'm gonna take each piece of the dough, form it into a bubble, put it seam side down into the bowl, and then I'm gonna brush the top of it with some more extra virgin olive oil so that it wouldn't form a crust. Then I'm gonna plastic wrap the bowls and then put them to some warm place to rise for a couple of hours, and it should actually double in volume. Oh, by the way, I added 100 grams in total more of the flour to reach the consistency that I needed to reach. I'll be sure to update the written recipe or to leave a note somewhere, but for now, let's let the dough rise for 2 hours. Hi guys! So it's actually the next day, because yesterday, right at the moment when I could make the pizza, I had an unexpected business outside home, so I just had to quickly leave. And what I did, I wrapped my pizza dough into plastic wrap and I put it into the freezer. And today I made another batch exactly the same like yesterday. Only today I didn't use the food processor, which I totally don't recommend using because I had so much trouble cleaning it out. I washed it twice in the dishwasher, and some parts I had to wash with my hands because it was just too much dough everywhere. So today I made everything with my hands and it was so much quicker and easier and so little things to clean afterwards. So now I have my oven all preheated and nice. Half an hour ago, I've turned it on to preheat to 240 degrees, and after 10 minutes of that, I've put my baking sheet on the very bottom to preheat as well, because it needs to preheat for around 20 minutes. It will be my pizza stone. As I don't have one, I had to use a baking sheet turned upside down, but as I'm using this huge oven of mine, I have only one baking sheet, the bottom of which looks kind of, well, dirty and raw, so I didn't really want to use that one. So what I did, I put another baking sheet, circular one, upside down on top of it, and now it's all nice and preheated in there. So now, as I'm actually at the point where I can try to make the pizza, I'm gonna prepare the sauce first, the Snow Cook red sauce. So what I have here, all the things from yesterday, I have tomato puree with these spices. Okay, what did we have here? Oregano, basil, onion, garlic, and a pinch of sugar. And I have my salt and pepper here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just add the spices to the puree, season with salt and pepper, mix it in, test it for seasoning if it needs any more, and then we will move on to the fun part, pizza making. Look at the dough, it's so nice. Okay, so I've watched the video like 50 times, so I'm gonna try and remember how she did, but here's what I have so far. I have my dough, I have some flour, I have another baking sheet which I'm turning upside down. I'm gonna use it as a pizza peel. Once I form the pizza, I'm gonna put it on top of it. I'm gonna top and then shimmy to the oven so that it would slide on another baking sheet I have there. And now I have my ruler so that I could know what 25 centimeters is about. So I'm gonna try and form yay big of a pizza. So let's try and do it. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the dough into the flour. I'm gonna flour it from all the sides and surfaces. Okay, now I'm gonna lightly flour the surface. Okay, I'm a bit nervous. So I'm gonna press it in the middle. Okay, seems about right. And now I will create a border which will be a little bit less than 1.5 centimeters by pressing it from inside and rotating. I'm gonna press a little bit more. Okay, I'm curious. Is it like 1.5? Oh my goodness! I'm developing an eye. Okay, now I'm gonna move everything a bit. And I'm just gonna, I don't know, she just like moved it around to stretch it out to 25 centimeters. So it is already 25 centimeters. Did I do it? Okay, but my middle is definitely much thinner, so I'm gonna try to stretch the ends. My middle is so thin. Okay, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit thicker. I'm gonna try it anyway. Let's call it good, because my middle is getting really thin and I have a bit thicker ends. I'm calling it good for the first time. That's like a transparent middle though. Okay, now I'm gonna transfer it to my pizza peel. Okay, that's way bigger than 25 centimeters. Shrinking in progress. Now I'm trying to work fast so that the pizza wouldn't stick. Now I'm gonna take a ladle and I'm gonna pour all of the sauce, which looks so too much, but let's trust Laura, onto the pizza, and I'm gonna work it by swirling it around. And I'm gonna leave again, or try to leave like 1.5 centimeter from the sides. Okay, that's called good. Now I'm gonna put my mozzarella all over the pizza. And I'm gonna top half of the pizza with leftover sausage and peppers. Now, another interesting part. I have to blow under it so that to ensure that it's not sticking. So much. Okay, did it work? Oh, it worked. Did it work? Yay! Okay, now I'm gonna quickly try to put it into the oven. Oh man, what do I do? and now I have my fork here. I'm just gonna pierce any bubbles. Do I have to pierce this? Forming on the crust. There are no bubbles. Oh well, I'm just piercing it everywhere. And now it's gonna bake for 17 more minutes. And now I'm gonna finish off my margarita side with some fresh basil and extra virgin olive oil. Oh my goodness! It was so stressful. I'm like still shaking. Really, that? Well, Laura said, and then shimmy shimmy your way out to the oven. It sounded so much easier. I was so scared when it fell. I thought that it's totally ruined, but nah! Look at it! It's actually perfect in my eyes because this is my first pizza that I made it like this. It's amazing. Okay, one thing though, don't poke with the fork because I can totally see now fork pokes everywhere. I don't think it was necessary. I think there was so much stuff happening, like seriously, I'm so stressed out. Okay, so I won't talk much because it's all clear. And oh, but the bottom, you know what? It was so worth it. The bottom is totally crusty and I'm gonna make such a mess. Okay, I need some help. With what? I don't have... Let's see, you didn't see that. I'm gonna take a little bite from maybe here. Okay. I'm making a total mess. I will take some crust. Oh man. If I could make an equal pizza, it would be so cool. The middle now is really thin. This is my first pizza after all. And the out is really thick, but it's a really nice dough. I have an idea now, as I have 3 pizza doughs now in my freezer. I think every time I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna film so that at some point I could show you my improvement, because now I just totally failed making the dough. I just made it all uneven and then it fell in the oven. But it's really nice, the taste of it. It's like soft but crusty. And the bottom, I've never succeeded to do that at home. The bottom of the pizza is like when you go somewhere and eat a pizza, it's like so crusty. I really hope you had fun. Go and check the original recipe by Laura there. And the written one is in the description. I would really suggest maybe being more careful than I was. I was really optimistic about this. And I'm just gonna go and calm down now because I'm so stressed out. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in a day. Bye!